Yeah, so with web scale IT, you've really got that scale and that flexibility to go up, go down in terms of what load you're putting onto an infrastructure, but also to put it anywhere in the world to make it easily accessible. It's also quite key to some of the new developments around big data and analytics, and that's important to companies to try and get a competitive edge by having more information, making better use of the data they've got and pulling that together. And if you think about the likes of Google and Facebook, although they've got the web front end, it's really about being a data company, a data management company. So then what drives that web scale IT infrastructure really is to have some way of being able to process the data. The question is, will every company have a web scale infrastructure and their own data sitting on it, or will they start to become data brokers or service brokers that stand up and do it? You already see that coming with people like Amazon and Amazon Web Services, providing that web scale infrastructure to customers to use, but also then providing data management, data processing. It's almost a concept that we call data gravity, that the actual processing of the data will move to where the infrastructure is to process it, rather than everyone pulling the data back to themselves to analyse, which, if you put it all back together, that affects bandwidth. Now, the risks with that is the more you have open, the more you have available, the more issue it is, the more there is for people to play with it. And particularly if I'm obviously digressing a little bit into the big data thing, but if people are pulling together data to get information and put analytics out, then if I'm a bad guy, possibly the ability to be able to go and sniff or get that information and get your insights that you're using, either from a competitor's point of view to understand how you're going to run your marketing campaigns or to change it, or from a bad guy's and a general underground criminal point of view to understand how they might be able to play with consumers and what they're doing. There's also a possibility, if we start to pull everything together and rely on feeds to do analysis, then what we might do is become very reliant on the quality of the feeds that we're getting. And then there's a temptation to start gaming those feeds and playing with those feeds to get the outcome you want in a non-technical way. We've sort of seen that with the LIBOR. So if you see what's happening in banking, there's a chance of doing that into this other infrastructure.